My sister Tracy always said she was irresistible. The kind of girl every man dreams about. She'd beam, as if it were a fact of life. When some creep stole her panties, she just laughed and blushed. He just loves me too much. Can you really blame him? And when a stalker knocked on our apartment door in the dead of night, she shyly cracked it open. "Someone's still home," she whispered with a smile. "Maybe next time, okay?" I was terrified. I called the police. But Tracy, she turned on me. "You're just jealous," she told the officer with a sad shake of her head. She hates that I'm naturally charming. That men actually like me. The next day, I was brutally murdered. Beaten, drowned, left to rot. And Tracy? She gave those two psychopaths a rock-solid alibi. When I opened my eyes again, I was back in that cursed morning. The day Tracy first received her special breakfast from that perverted neighbor. She was grinning ear to ear, holding a lunchbox she found at the door like it was a Tiffany box. "Look," she chirped. "My breakfast came again. You've just got to try it. One bite, and you'll stop being such a bitch about her." I smiled faintly. "Oh, I think she's great," I said sweetly. "You two absolutely belong together." "Ooh," she squealed, practically trembling with joy. "See? Look at this. Even the egg is heart-shaped." She hugged the lunchbox to her chest. "She really loves me, huh?" No. She didn't realize what was really inside, what had really happened last time. In my past life, this exact lunchbox was the beginning of the nightmare. The one that ended with my limbs shattered and my screams ignored. And here she was, opening it again. I could still feel that pain in my bones. I snapped out of it just as she held out a spoonful of rice toward my mouth. "Here, Sammy," she said, spoon poised. "You've never had a breakfast this full of love before, have you?" I saw the cloudy, viscous liquid glistening on the rice. I knew what it was. I stepped back and smiled again. "No, Tracy, I think she's perfect for you. You two should be together, forever." Tracy blinked. Then, slowly, her expression melted into a dazed little smile. "You're right," she whispered. Then she popped the spoonful into her own mouth and let out a blissful hum. "I mean, I'm the protagonist, right? A girl like me deserves a whole harem. One guy? That's just not enough." I nodded. "Try 10. Or 20. Just make sure you stay locked in with those lunatics and leave the rest of us alone." While she was still bathing in delusion, I backed into my room, grabbed my emergency bag, and walked straight out of the apartment. By the time I passed the gates of our complex, I was already thanking God for this second chance. Chapter 2. The lunchboxes never stopped. In my past life, those freaky lunchboxes kept showing up for days. Each morning, a new one would be sitting outside our door. Each one cuter, more disturbing than the last. Sometimes there'd be a note, scribbled in jagged handwriting. "Tracy, my love, don't forget breakfast today, okay?" Another read, "You wore citrus perfume today, but I prefer the rose one. It smells more like you." And the final one? It was covered in red marker hearts, smudged with something I still don't want to think about. I had tried to throw them away, every last one. But Tracy? She gathered them up like they were love letters from the Prince of England. She beamed, hugging the boxes to her chest. "They're from my admirers, obviously." "Gosh, I must be really special, huh?" "You don't even know who they're from," I had warned her back then. "This is creepy, dangerous." But she just rolled her eyes. "Oh please, Sammy. You're just jealous no one wants to send you cute stuff." And when I threw one away in a moment of panic, she screamed, cried, cursed me out, told our neighbors I was emotionally abusive. And then she told him, the freak, the one who had been watching us. That night, they poured something disgusting down my throat until I couldn't breathe. So this time, she could enjoy her admirer all by herself. As I stepped out the complex gate, a man brushed past me. He was wearing a dark hoodie, a scarf pulled over his face. My blood ran cold. It was him, the stalker from last time. He didn't recognize me, thank God. But I recognized his eyes, his gait, the shiver in my spine. I bolted into a nearby cafe and opened the home surveillance app I'd installed last month. The balcony had a blind spot, so I'd set up a 360-degree camera in the living room. Sure enough, I saw it all. Tracy, blissfully unaware, was in the bathroom soaking in a bubble bath, watching TikToks. Her giggles echoed down the hallway. She didn't hear the lock quietly click open. The stalker crept inside like he owned the place. He walked straight past the kitchen, past the hallway closet, and into Tracy's open bedroom. He climbed into her bed, breathing deeply, sniffing her sheets like they were laced with cocaine. Then, with trembling hands, he pulled open her nightstand drawer and took out a pair of her panties. His pale face lit up with joy. He buried his face in them. I gagged. I slammed the app shut. I couldn't watch another second. There was no way I could stay in that apartment anymore. Tracy was doomed. She didn't want my help anyway. Let her be the center of attention in the worst way possible. I checked into a hotel and filed for temporary leave at work. With any luck, I could request an out-of-town assignment before Tracy's insanity dragged me down again. Chapter 3. Rotten Lunch and a Rotten Sister. Tracy didn't just want to be admired. She demanded to be worshipped. That night, while I was booking a flight and requesting my out-of-town transfer, my phone buzzed with her name lighting up the screen. Tracy, Sammy, why didn't you clean the apartment before you left? The sheets are a mess, and the laundry isn't even folded. What good are you as a sister? Ugh. I stared at the message, eyebrows twitching. The audacity. I glanced at the surveillance footage again. Only 10 minutes had passed since the stalker had crept into her room. He couldn't have left already, could he? I rewound. Right as the TikTok audio in the bathroom paused, I saw him panic. He ducked under the bed, leaving the stolen panties behind on the mattress. Tracy emerged in a towel, humming to herself. She didn't even notice the man hiding inches beneath her feet. Instead, she spotted the panties. She picked them up, confused, then shrugged and sent me another voice message, screeching about how I never supported her, how I was jealous of her life, how I couldn't stand her being adored. This girl, my sister, the one I used to protect, she was now my biggest threat. I stopped arguing with her. No more warnings, no more saving. If she wanted to believe she was some irresistible goddess with men groveling at her feet, then fine. Let the psychos chase her. Let them all fall in love and lock themselves in a twisted little triangle. She didn't deserve my pity anymore. Later that day, I called her and put on my best caring sister voice. Tracy, I'm so sorry I left you in a mess. The company just sent me out on a last-minute trip. 2 weeks minimum. She gasped. What? You're abandoning me? But what about my meals? What if I get lonely? Here's $2,000. Treat yourself. Also, how's the lunchbox guy? Her voice instantly changed. Oh my God, he's just so mysterious. Like a quiet prince. You know the type who watches from afar and sends flowers? I bet he's secretly super rich. I forced a smile into my voice. Yeah. Totally dreamy. What she didn't know, I had printed out the QR code of our neighbor's social media. The one who lived directly below her. The one I suspected of leaving the lunches. I added in a bottle of perfume I knew she liked, wrapped everything up, and paid a delivery guy to drop it at her door with a forged love note. Sure enough, she messaged me 5 minutes later. He sent me a gift again, OMGiga. She sent a friend request to the neighbor. Then she did her hair, put on a mini dress, and pranced out the door like a lovesick bimbo heading to prom. She never noticed the man crawling out from under her bed 5 minutes later. Face twisted, eyes glassy, muttering her name like a prayer. He sniffed the air, smirked at the perfume bottle, then slipped out the door. Minutes later, a metal hook reached up from the neighbor's balcony and stole one of Tracy's freshly washed bras. I didn't even flinch, just kept sipping my coffee from the hotel lounge, filing paperwork to extend my leave. This time, I wasn't going to save her. This time, I was going to watch the whole circus unfold from a safe distance. Chapter 4. Baiting the Beast. For a few days, I stayed quiet. I had moved into a hotel on the far side of town and was finally sleeping soundly. No strange footsteps outside my door, no creepy gifs on the welcome mat. Then Tracy called again, late, drunk. Sammy. She slurred over the phone, her voice thick. Where's the spare key? I'm locked out again. I paused, heart pounding. Behind her drunken babble, I could hear something else. Heavy, slow footsteps, not too close but not far either. He was following her again. The keys under the flower pot, I lied smoothly. Did you forget already? She cursed and started rummaging. I waited. Seconds later, she screamed. "It's not here. Who took it?" I played dumb. Maybe someone did take it. Silence. Then she hung up. I watched her dot flicker on my screen. She was calling someone else. A moment later, she whispered into her phone like she was in a drama. "You've been watching me, haven't you? You took my key, didn't you? Come unlock the door for me." Oh my God. She knew he was there. And she liked it. She was inviting him in. He appeared in the stairwell just as I expected. Tall and silent, his hoodie casting shadows across his pale face. "You knew about me?" He rasped, stunned. Tracy giggled. "Duh. You left your cologne on my coffee mug. You changed my lock screen photo. You even updated your number in my phone. You're not exactly subtle." He was flustered, stammering. I didn't mean to." She touched his arm. "You don't have to explain. Just don't block me, okay?" He froze. Then she winked. "And if you still have that pair of panties, I'll need them back tomorrow." He turned beet red. "Oh? You want to keep them? Fine. But only if you're going to cherish them forever." She spun on her heel and walked inside like she owned the world. The stalker was left in a daze, hugging himself with a look of spiritual fulfillment. Later that night, Tracy messaged me a dozen times in a row. "Oh my God. IRL yandere BFGET. He literally crawled out from under my bed. That's so hot. Sammy, you don't understand. He's like a wounded wolf who only loves me." I replied with a yawn. "You're amazing, Tracy. The real MVP." She didn't even catch the sarcasm. Instead, she sent me a photo. Some sweaty, jacked guy with 8-pack abs lifting weights. Guess who this is? Lunchbox guy? Double catch today. I squinted. The picture was from a gym. Wait a second. That's not our neighbor. That's one of the trainers at the gym down the street. A player. I'd seen him flirting with 3 girls at once, which meant she'd friend requested the wrong guy. The neighbor probably hadn't even responded. I shook my head, marveling at how far her delusions could go. She was baiting every man within a mile radius, like some black hole of male attention. But even black holes collapse. And Tracy? She was headed straight for disaster. Again. Chapter 5, Blood, Dumbbells, and Public Scandal. Tracy had been on cloud 9 for days. She spent her mornings dressing up, her afternoons hanging around the gym trying to accidentally run into her imaginary lunchbox boyfriend, and her nights whispering sweet nothings to the stalker, who had now been given implicit access to her apartment. Everything went according to her delusions, until it didn't. Less than a week later, she called me, screaming, "He hit me! That psycho woman hit me!" I blinked at the video call. Her makeup was smeared, her face red, her hair a mess. In the background, a crowd had gathered. A woman with boxing gloves stood nearby, yelling, "You think you can seduce my husband and get away with IT? Oh God." The gym trainer had a wife. A boxer wife. I muted my mic. Tracy shrieked, "Call the police. Get me a lawyer." That BT teach tried to ruin my face. The video panned down. Her dress was torn. Her heels broken. Her purse flung across the parking lot. The wife had apparently dragged her out of the gym, through the streets, and was now using a megaphone to tell the entire neighborhood about Tracy's harlot behavior. Meanwhile, the trainer was getting kicked out of the apartment complex. Turns out he was mooching off his wife's lease. Tracy's reputation? Obliterated. She became a walking meme. Neighbors whispered. Strangers pointed. Worst of all, the lease I had prepaid expired that very week. I had already notified the landlord I wouldn't renew. And once he found out Tracy was the apartment hoebag from TikTok, he refused to extend her stay. She messaged me, "Samantha, you get back here right now and pay next month's rent, or I'm not your sister anymore." I left her on read. Blocked her number. 2 hours later, she messaged our mom. Cue dramatic phone call. "Sammy, honey, she's your only sister." "She's your problem now," I said flatly. "Let Tracy take care of you in your old age." Mom gasped. "You ungrateful. Goodbye." And I hung up. Apparently, Mom did try convincing Tracy to return to the countryside and marry a local boy. But after tasting the chaos of the city, Tracy wasn't going anywhere. Instead, she curled up on the curb next to her suitcase, wailing like an orphaned princess. Until a door creaked open. It was our creepy neighbor. The one with the balding head, the beady eyes, and the stomach that led the way wherever he walked. He smiled. "Tracy, no place to go? You can stay with me," she scoffed. As if. "Get away from me, perv." But then, her eyes lit up. She remembered someone else. She grabbed her suitcase and ran straight into the stairwell. Straight into the arms of her stalker boyfriend. He smiled. "I was waiting for you. I don't have a place to stay," she sniffled. "Can I come home with you?" He lit up like a Christmas tree. "Of course. I prepared your favorite pink princess room, and matching pink pajamas, and shelves of plushies." Tracy giggled, wiping fake tears. "You're such a romantic." As they walked away, the creepy neighbor watched from his doorway. He slowly closed the door and went back inside to prepare. Chapter 6: The Princess and Her Dungeon. The stalker's name was Lucas, and Lucas had prepared for this moment like a groom on his wedding day. His apartment? A mirror image of Tracy's, down to the color of the curtains, the placement of her stuffed animals, the scent of her shampoo. He had recreated her bedroom perfectly, using photos taken from angles only a hidden camera could manage. On the nightstand sat a glass jar. Inside was the half-drunk bubble tea she threw away last month. Next to it, a sealed bag of used tissues. A lollipop she once sucked and dropped. Tracy was stunned. "Oh my God," she whispered, eyes wide. How long have you been watching me?" Lucas hugged her gently. "Since the day you tweeted you were a fragile heart desperate for affection." Her lashes fluttered. "You're so romantic." They were, after all, both emotionally deranged. For a while, it worked. Tracy was pampered like a doll. Lucas waited on her hand and foot, calling her princess, and serving her food on glittering pink plates. But Tracy was Tracy. She didn't want love. She wanted attention. From everyone. So one day, while Lucas was out buying groceries, she slipped into a low-cut top and snapped some thirst traps for her anonymous fan account. She posted a dozen flirty pics. Her DMs exploded. Men begged to be her sugar daddy. One even offered to buy her a car. Lucas came home to find her giggling on the couch, replying with kissy face emojis. He said nothing. Just walked over, took her phone, and showed her a screenshot of her secret account. She froze. Then pouted. "You spy on my online life now? Ugh, controlling much?" Lucas stared down at her like a disappointed parent. He didn't yell. He didn't curse. He simply picked her up, bridal style, and carried her into the bedroom. Tracy squealed. "Lucas, what are you— Wait, hey!" He set her on the bed. From beneath the mattress, he pulled out a heavy iron chain. Tracy's face drained of color. Within minutes, the chain was locked around her ankle. Lucas kissed her forehead. "You're safest here, princess." That night, he took her phone, and her tablet, and the apartment keys. The next morning, she begged him to let her go for a walk. He agreed, but only after wrapping her in a hoodie, sunglasses, a scarf, and walking her like a dog around the block. Tracy had finally become what she always dreamed of, the object of someone's complete, obsessive, terrifying affection. And now she wanted out. She tried bribing him, seducing him, guilt-tripping him. But Lucas wasn't budging. That's when fate, or the nosy neighbor, intervened. The neighbor, still watching everything from his window, spotted Tracy waving a lipstick-marked towel out the balcony, mouthing help. He hesitated. Lucas was scary, but Tracy was pretty, and this was his shot. A rescue. A romantic redemption. So he sent up a message using a drone, attaching a pen and a note. "Write your plan. I'll help." Tracy scribbled furiously. The Great Escape was about to begin. Chapter 7. The Great Escape, sort of. Tracy had always been many things, vain, delusional, infuriating, but never resourceful. Until now. Her message to the neighbor, scrawled on perfumed stationery, was dramatic enough to win an Oscar. "I'm being held captive in a Barbie-themed dungeon. My boyfriend thinks he's my savior. Please help before I'm turned into a lifetime Netflix special." The neighbor, let's call him Greg, had never felt more alive. For weeks, he'd been fantasizing about saving his dream girl. And now? It was finally happening. Greg set up a rope ladder from his balcony. Practiced the timing. Waited for Lucas to go grocery shopping again. Then, go time. Tracy slipped on a glitter hoodie and fuzzy slippers, tossed her essentials in a pink Hello Kitty duffel, and tiptoed barefoot toward the balcony railing. Greg was waiting 2 floors below, grinning and sweating like he was defusing a bomb. "Come on, princess," he whispered. She began climbing down. 1 rung. 2 rungs. 3. Her slipper fell off. She shrieked. Lucas's head popped out the window down the street. "What the— Tracy!" Panic. Greg tugged on the rope. "Hurry." Tracy dropped the bag and scrambled into his arms. They collapsed into a pile of limbs and panting. Greg tried to lift her bridal style. Tracy slapped his arm. "Not now." They bolted into Greg's unit and locked the door. Tracy collapsed onto his couch, laughing hysterically. "I made it. I'm free." Greg offered her juice. "You can stay here as long as you want." "Thanks," she said sweetly. "You're the only one who really understands me." They toasted with juice boxes. Victory. But they celebrated too soon. That night, Lucas returned to an empty apartment, a broken chain, and a single pink slipper. His entire body trembled. And then he smiled. Because taped to the table was a note in Tracy's handwriting. "Lucas, I still love you. But I need space to understand our bond. Don't come looking for me. Just wait." He clutched the note to his chest like it was scripture. "She'll come back," he whispered. "They always come back." Meanwhile, Tracy had moved into Greg's apartment. And it didn't take long for reality to ruin the fantasy. Greg wasn't Lucas. He didn't worship her. He didn't cook. He didn't clean. He just watched her all the time, breathing heavy, eyes glassy. Tracy started leaving laundry around. He got mad. She complained about the food. He stopped buying any. Eventually he exploded. "I wanted a princess, not some lazy freeloader." Tracy screamed. He grabbed a spatula. And the cycle began again. This time, she had no sister to run to, no hotel to hide in, no cash left for an Uber. So she made a decision. She texted Lucas, "Miss you. Let's talk." The trap she escaped was now the one she wanted back. Chapter 8. Love Triangle of Doom. It started with a knock. Lucas stood at Greg's door, holding a bouquet of wilted roses and a lunchbox with a lace ribbon tied around the handle. His hair was disheveled, eyes sunken, and that unsettling smile stretched too wide across his pale face. "I've come to take my princess home," he said. Greg, to his credit, didn't slam the door immediately. Instead, he stepped into the hallway, towering over Lucas, who looked more like a deranged waiter than a threat. "She doesn't want to see you," Greg growled. "She left you. Deal with it." Lucas blinked slowly, as if the words didn't quite register. Then he tilted his head. "But she texted me," he said softly. "She said she missed me." Behind them, Tracy peeked from the kitchen doorway, dressed in a silk nightgown that clung to her like plastic wrap, her mascara already smudged though it wasn't even noon. "Wait," she whispered. "I just wanted to talk, not cause a scene." But it was too late for that. Lucas stepped forward. "You said we were connected. You said I made you feel safe." Greg barked a laugh. "She says that to everyone, man. You're not special." Lucas's eye twitched. And that was when Tracy, in her infinite inability to read a room, decided to escalate. "Greg, Lucas, please stop fighting over me," she said, placing a delicate hand on her chest. "I love you both in such different, beautiful ways." A silence fell. Then Greg turned slowly toward her. "You what?" Lucas blinked. "Both of us?" She nodded with a soft, tragic smile. "Isn't it possible to love more than one man? Why do we let society trap us in these binaries?" Greg looked like he'd swallowed a bee. "You're insane." Lucas, however, was thrilled. "I knew it," he breathed. "I knew we were meant to share something bigger." Tracy's smile faltered. "Wait, what?" "I'll share you with him," Lucas said brightly. "If that's what you want." Greg looked like he was about to throw up. "You lunatics deserve each other," he snapped, and stormed back inside. But Tracy wasn't relieved. Lucas took her hand. "We'll build a life together. A triad. A holy union." She tried to back away. "Actually, I was kinda hoping to choose between you. Not—" "You don't have to choose," he interrupted. "That's the beauty of it." Back in Greg's apartment, the man was slamming drawers and muttering. Then he returned with a pink spatula in one hand and a frying pan in the other. "I'm not giving her up," he said coldly. "If we're sharing, we fight for her. Winner takes all." Lucas grinned, undeterred. "I accept your challenge." "Guys, please, this is getting ridiculous," Tracy stammered, but neither of them was listening. They charged at each other in the hallway. The pan clanged against the wall. The spatula whipped through the air with terrifying speed. One of them slipped on Tracy's fuzzy slipper and crashed into a potted plant. It was chaos. Tracy tried to intervene, stepping between them, screaming, flailing. But someone's elbow accidentally caught her across the jaw, sending her sprawling. And just like that, she was down. Lucas gasped. "Tracy," Greg screamed, "you hit her!" "I didn't mean to." "You monster." It was no longer about love. Now, it was war. Chapter 9, The Schedule of Sin. Tracy woke up in a hospital bed, her cheek bandaged, an IV in her arm, and two psychopaths seated dutifully by her side, one with flowers, the other holding a stuffed unicorn. She blinked slowly. "What happened?" Greg leapt to his feet. "You fainted, my love. You got caught in the middle of that awful brawl, and it broke me." Lucas wiped a tear. "I haven't eaten in 3 days. I was so worried." Tracy stared at them, then down at herself. No broken bones, just bruises, bandages, and a mild concussion. And yet somehow, this might have been the most peace she'd had in months. When the doctor left the room, she cleared her throat. "I can't do this anymore," she said softly. All the jealousy, the violence, the testosterone. Both men leaned in. "I want peace," she murmured. "Harmony." Greg narrowed his eyes. "What does that mean?" She looked up at them with trembling lashes. "I propose a schedule." They blinked. "A what?" "A sharing schedule," Tracy said, her voice gaining strength. "You both want me. I can't choose. So we create order." She pulled a pen from the bedside drawer and began scribbling on a napkin like a woman possessed. "Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I stay with Greg. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Lucas. Sunday, we rotate. Based on a coin toss." Greg gaped. "You're serious?" Tracy nodded solemnly. "It's the only fair solution." Lucas beamed. "This is so mature, so evolved." Greg muttered something about therapy but didn't leave. And so, unbelievably, they agreed. After Tracy was discharged, the plan went into effect immediately. On Greg's days, she lounged around in lingerie, fed him grapes, and made him feel like the king of his tiny, cluttered apartment. On Lucas's days, she wore his favorite pink frilly dresses, let him brush her hair, and recited poems he wrote about their eternal bond. On Sundays, she slept until noon and pretended the world didn't exist. It was deranged, but somehow, it worked. The neighbors got used to the alternating boyfriends. The grocery store clerks knew to expect one of the two each day. Even the postman once asked, "So, who gets her on Valentine's?" No one blinked anymore when two men walked down the street holding hands with the same girl in the middle. From the outside, it almost looked like love, but Tracy knew better. She knew it was a time bomb, and she had no intention of defusing it. Chapter 10. Collapse of the Calendar. At first, the schedule worked like magic. Tracy woke up each day to a different flavor of devotion. Greg brought greasy diner breakfasts and backhanded compliments, while Lucas presented origami love letters and serenades on a child-sized keyboard. But then came the holidays. Valentine's Day landed on a Tuesday, Lucas's day. Greg lost his mind. "You knew I had dinner reservations," he shouted from the hallway as Tracy opened the door in a silk robe and heart-shaped earrings. Lucas wrapped an arm around her. "You had last weekend. Valentine's is mine. It's written. It's sacred." Tracy watched them fight like two dogs over a raw steak. That night, she ended up eating both dinners, Greg's crab-stuffed ravioli and Lucas's vegan risotto, before throwing up from the combo and crying on the bathroom floor. By April, cracks turned into craters. Greg began sabotaging Lucas's days by accidentally forgetting to return borrowed items, like the only hairdryer or the hot water remote. Lucas retaliated by leaving passive-aggressive post-it notes around the apartment. Real men refill the Brita filter. The neighbors had long stopped gossiping. Now they just watched. And Tracy? She played them both like violins. Anytime they upset her, she'd call for a suspension review, cutting their days short or reshuffling the rotation entirely. "You're both being toxic," she'd whisper, misty-eyed. "I just want peace." And somehow, they always bought it. Until the day Greg broke the rules. It was a Thursday. Lucas's day. Greg barged in anyway, holding a bouquet of half-dead daisies and a Bluetooth speaker blasting an apology playlist. Lucas was making pancakes. Tracy was doing her nails. Greg dropped to his knees. "I know it's not my day, but I couldn't sleep. I missed you." Lucas flipped a pancake like it was a throwing star. "You're trespassing. I love her more than you ever will. I built her a custom Hello Kitty closet. I tattooed her name on my back. You spelled it wrong." The screaming escalated. Tracy yelled, "Guys, please!" But it was too late. Greg lunged. Lucas grabbed the syrup bottle like a weapon. They collided. The pan fell. The speaker exploded. Someone got syrup in their eye. And Tracy, in the middle of the chaos, stood frozen, watching her twisted utopia melt into a literal food fight. When the paramedics arrived, called by a very tired neighbor, they found Greg concussed, Lucas sobbing in the corner, and Tracy calmly eating a chocolate-covered strawberry off the floor. "I need a break," she told the EMT. She checked herself into a wellness center the next morning. Under the name Sarah T, in case either man tried to follow, she left behind a note. "To my 2 nights, please work on yourselves. I'll return when the world is sane again. Maybe." She did not leave a return address. For once, Tracy was truly gone. Chapter 11. Healing or Hell. Tracy arrived at the Willowvale Wellness Center, expecting cucumber water, Instagrammable gardens, and maybe a few light meditation sessions with shirtless yogis. What she got was far less glamorous. Willowvale was more upstate institutional retreat than celebrity rehab. The walls were beige, the staff wore orthopedic sneakers, and the only available juice cleanse involved powdered celery and disappointment. Tracy stared at her assigned roommate, a woman in her 50s who introduced herself as Mama Cat and claimed she could astral project during acupuncture. "I once floated into a Best Buy and saw a boy shoplifting," Mama Cat whispered. "I reported him to the universe." Tracy nodded slowly. Cool. Still, she was determined. This was her chance to reset, to reinvent, to return like a phoenix from the ashes of her domestic throuple disaster. She journaled. She yogaed. She even ate steamed kale. And slowly, the madness ebbed. Back in the city, however, the storm raged on. Greg fell into a spiral, posting unhinged TikToks from their old apartment. Shirtless and teary-eyed, singing rewritten ballads like "Someone Like Tracy and I Will Wait, But Please Unblock Me." Lucas, by contrast, went silent. Ominously so. He quit his job, canceled his lease, began sending mail to Tracy's childhood home. Packages marked only with cryptic symbols and hand-drawn hearts. He even showed up at the hospital she had once visited, demanding to see the woman who healed me. The receptionist called security. Meanwhile, Tracy was thriving. She joined a group called Radical Self-Love for Women Who've Dated Sociopaths. She posted selfies with quotes like, "Alignment attachment and my aura is not for rent." But her greatest mistake? She bragged. During a weekly Zoom therapy check-in, attended by various wellness escapees, she mentioned her previous living arrangement. "One man wasn't enough," she said with a wistful smile. "So I built a rotation." The call went silent. Then someone gasped. "You're the viral triangle girl?" She blinked. "What?" Another voice chimed in. "The one from the syrup fight video." "Oh my God." Tracy's stomach dropped. That video, the one filmed by the neighbor, had made it online. It had millions of views. And now, so did she. The next day, the center's receptionist asked if she could take a selfie. Tracy left that afternoon. By nightfall, the wellness center's official account posted a cryptic message. We wish Sarah T all the best on her continuing path toward balance and discretion. Tracy was back in the real world, but nothing about it felt real anymore. She opened her inbox. Hundreds of messages, offers for interviews, podcast invitations, modeling contracts, and buried beneath them, 2 emails. One from Greg, "I still have your slipper." One from Lucas, "Ready when you are." Tracy exhaled. She didn't want either of them. What she wanted was fame. Chapter 12. Rise of the Viral Queen. Tracy had never felt so alive. Her inbox overflowed. Her phone vibrated non-stop. Memes of her holding syrup-soaked strawberries had spawned a cottage industry of merchandise. Shirts that read, "Syrup is my love." Language, mugs printed with "Schedule me in," and even a novelty calendar that marked odd and even boyfriend days. Tracy had gone viral, not for her beauty or wisdom, but for being uniquely unhinged, and she loved it. She signed with an influencer agency by the end of the week. They paired her with a manager named Tara, a former TikTok rapper turned brand consultant who wore acrylic nails shaped like lightning bolts. "We're gonna turn you into the face of post-toxic healing culture," Tara declared. "Imagine, breakup retreats, soft girl merch, a reality show called Thrupled and Thriving. This is your moment, babe." Tracy wasn't listening. She was already drafting captions. Meanwhile, her follower count soared past 1 million. Fans dissected her thruple arc like it was Shakespeare. People shipped her with Greg. Others made fan art of her chained to Lucas's bed like a misunderstood goddess. But the real danger wasn't the fans. It was the imitators. Within days, 12 women online had started their own shared partner challenges. Hashtags like #girlfriendtimeshare and #emotionally polygamous trended worldwide. One woman in Detroit tried to clone the entire setup and got sued when one of her boyfriends stabbed the other with a fondue fork. The media backlash was swift. Have we gone too far with modern love? From sisterhood to sycophants, the cult of Tracy T. Tracy didn't care. She posted a makeup tutorial using products inspired by emotional manipulation. It got 2.3 million views. But deep down, she could feel the winds changing. Too many eyes. Too many narratives she couldn't control. She needed a pivot. She needed a reinvention. Chapter 13, Cancelled and Unbothered. It happened on a Tuesday. Tracy woke up to find herself trending again. But this time, for all the wrong reasons. An old livestream had surfaced. Grainy footage from the early days of the throuple, showing her laughing as Greg and Lucas argued over who could lick whipped cream off her toes faster. The internet turned. She manipulated mentally unstable men for content. She's glamorizing abusive dynamics. Tracy T is toxic AF. Within 24 hours, 3 sponsors dropped her. Tara called in a panic. "Don't say anything, don't post, don't even breathe on Twitter." But Tracy? She was already live streaming. Wrapped in a towel, sipping coconut water, ring light blinding her retinas. She spoke directly to her audience. Am I messy? Yes. Am I complicated? Absolutely. But guess what? I never lied. I never faked a single tear. I gave you drama, romance, chaos, truth. And if that's a crime, lock me up, baby. The comments exploded. Some cheered. Some recoiled. Some begged for a Netflix deal. She smiled. Being cancelled, she said, is just free PR with a bad haircut. Then she closed the app and turned to her mirror. Because the next stage wasn't about men. It wasn't about fans. It was about her. She was done playing the tragic romantic. Now, she was ready to be a villain. And the world? Oh, it better be ready too. Chapter 14, Queen of Chaos. The following months unfolded like a fever dream Tracy had willed into reality. She no longer tiptoed around controversy. She danced in it, twirling with champagne in hand, wrapped in a fur coat she bought with brand sponsorship money. Paparazzi began following her at Whole Foods. Influencer teens mimicked her eyeliner, calling it the messy majesty look. She launched a line of bold red lipsticks, Villain Era, Gaslight Red, and Manipulate Me Mauve. She didn't run from her past. She packaged it. Every interview added to her legend. You turned 2 emotionally unstable men into your servants, one host accused. Tracy smiled serenely. I gave them purpose. podcasts fought to book her. Merch shops printed her face onto prayer candles. Reality TV scouts circled like sharks. But fame, Tracy knew, was fickle. And to cement her legacy, she needed one final act: a live reckoning. She announced it with a cinematic teaser, black and white footage of syrup dripping, roses burning, and her voice whispering, "It's time." Chapter 15. The Last Supper, Live. The stream was scheduled for 8 p.m. sharp. By 7:45, over 2 million people had tuned in. Tracy's living room had been transformed into a decadent dinner hall. Velvet curtains, gilded tableware. Candles flickered atop a mirrored table set with gourmet finger food, monogrammed napkins, and a custom cake shaped like a crown. Tracy entered last. Her gown was blood red, layered with tulle and embedded rhinestones that shimmered with every movement. Her hair was pinned up like a queen going to war, and her eyes were outlined in smoky black. Around her neck, a thin gold choker spelled villain. Greg arrived first. He wore a too-tight suit and carried a peace lily in a cracked ceramic pot. His hands trembled. His smile was unsure. "I brought something peaceful," he said, placing the flower carefully beside the wine. Lucas came second. Clad in a black turtleneck and long coat, he clutched a cardboard box wrapped in silver ribbon. Inside, he revealed a crown made of twisted wires, rhinestones, and a locket containing Tracy's old Instagram profile picture. "For our queen," he murmured. They took their seats. Greg on the left, Lucas on the right, Tracy at the head. She raised a crystal glass. To healing, to honesty, to the algorithm. The dinner began. At first, it was awkward. Lucas barely touched his food. Greg chewed every bite like it might explode. Tracy kept the conversation flowing with calculated charm. "So, Greg," she cooed, "have you learned anything since our arrangement?" He cleared his throat. "I learned I didn't value myself enough." "And Lucas?" "I've stopped waiting for people to complete me," he said. "I started therapy." Tracy applauded. "Growth." They even laughed at one point. Lucas told a story about the time Tracy accidentally microwaved a candle, and Greg offered a truce toast. But viewers felt the tension. The piece was too fragile, the calm too curated. And then, it happened. One of the long taper candles near Greg's peace lily bent slightly in its holder. A moment later, the tip of the flame touched the dry leaf. The peace lily ignited like paper. Greg jumped. Lucas screamed. Tracy froze mid-toast. The camera caught it all, flames dancing across the flower, the guests scrambling, a glass of wine thrown uselessly at the blaze. Lucas tripped on a velvet throw rug. Greg knocked over the crown box. Tracy's sleeve caught a spark, and she shrieked as she ripped it off. The screen went black. Technical difficulties. The stream ended. Epilogue, Crown of Smoke. In the days that followed, rumors swirled. No official footage of the Last Supper was ever reposted. Just low-res clips from viewers' phones, endlessly remixed with ominous music and memes. Tracy vanished. Her apartment was cleared out overnight. No note, no forwarding address. Her manager refused to comment. The podcast was scrubbed. The merch store shut down. But she lived on. On TikTok, #TracyTheory trended for weeks. Some claimed she'd staged it all. Others swore she fled to Tuscany. One woman said she saw Tracy working at a spa in Sedona, glowing like a supervillain reborn. Only one quote survived from the dinner party, pulled from a screen grab right before the fire broke out. Tracy had looked straight into the lens and said, "I gave you chaos, and you gave me a crown." To this day, no one knows where she is. But whenever social media starts to feel too normal, too quiet, someone always posts it again. And the chaos begins anew.